Welcome to vlog number 5. Now the first thing I've got to mention is a tour down under. The dates for the tour down under, January the 16th to the 26th. Now we'd love to see you here. If you're from overseas, then that's great. Come over, bring your bike if you can. Now in Australia, as you know, if you haven't heard, we got lots of space here. Yep, you can get up close and personal to the race, to the riders, to the action, to all the behind the scenery crew and all that sort of stuff. So Australia, plenty of room. Adelaide's a very easy city to get around, so you can even ride from point A to point B to where you need to go. And there's public transport anyway if you need to as well. Now, bring your bike if you can. Now, if you're from Australia, you definitely have to bring your bike because you just do. So there's always events. There's a whole 2 weeks action-packed with all bike stuff. It's not just the race. There's all sorts of things happening around it as well. And it's always rides every day. You can wear yourself silly riding your bike if you really want to. So that's the tour down under. Now I hear that Peter Sagan's coming this year as well again because he likes it here so much. He likes the tour down under race, and he likes Australia as well. Another thing, when there's a bunch of riders, there's always something happening, things that need to be fixed or replaced. And we had a rider recently last month sometime, a stick flicked up somehow from maybe another rider's wheel or something. Anyway, it jammed in the chain and the lower jockey wheel, and then it twisted his derailleur and it went into the spokes. Now it didn't completely mangle his spokes, it bent 2 of his spokes in his Rolf wheels, which is difficult enough. And it did mangle the back derailleur. It was pretty bad. The hanger was bent, but the derailleur was like, oh, it's a rear derailleur, you can see that. Anyhow, worst comes to worst, it was a Shimano Ultegra, but it was a Di2. So he went to order one and he found out it's over $400 for an Ultegra Di2 derailleur because the mechanism inside, once you twisted it up or something, he couldn't reset it, it needed to be replaced. So, new Di2 rear derailleur. Now, if that was mechanical, it would have been fair bit cheaper, but $420, that was an expensive flicking up stick from the road. Now there's always something happening. Here's another one. Here's a pair of bars, 3T aluminium bars, and this one of our riders, he rides in winter indoors on his trainer a lot. Now he's found that the sweat from his hands has gone through the tape and corroded the bars. That's all very well. Well, actually not really. You should have replaced the tape earlier. But at the corrosion point, as you can see, it's gone through and worn the holes into his aluminium bar, worn holes there. Now, if this rider, well, there's a big hole on that side, if he'd decided to come out riding with these bars in a bunch, and if he's going downhill and put some pressure on somehow or sprinting and cracked it open and ripped it, he could have had a serious accident and taken himself and maybe a few other riders down with him. So there's a lesson here. Aluminium bars corrode, sweat from your hands. Replace your tape at least, every 6 months? Or check it, at least check it, unravel it, and check your bar tape, especially if you're on an indoor trainer where you do sweat a lot and it's not evaporating. Aluminium and salt, sweat, causes big problems. So check that. Carbon bars will probably be alright, but not aluminium. Just thought I'd show you that one. And we had another one here. There's a crank set here, Ultegra. And this is a new hollow tech, and they're hollow because hollow at the back here and also hollow in the crank, in the shaft and the crank. So not just the bottom bracket axle, but the crank itself. Now if you get the chance, if you got some, or you get the chance to look at someone else's, you can see if you look from the back, it's like 2 pieces, the inner part and the outer part, and they press them together, and that's what they do. These are actually glued. So if you look behind, what looks to be welding is not welding, it's glue. So these cranks, the crank itself, has 2 pieces, the inner and an outer part, press them and glue them together. You might think, oh no, glued cranks, let's go back to the old forged cranks where they're one piece. Well, you know, Shimano sell hundreds of thousands and millions of these units, and the R&D and research behind all this substantiates that they make a good product. Now these cranks are Durace Ultegra 105, technology is so good. Cranks have never been as stiff or as light in history. So you're looking at top technology here. Shimano do a lot of research into it. So they're a good crank. Now every now and again you do get the broken ones, as we've always had in history, or bent ones. Now this rider complained that as he was riding, it felt like at the bottom stroke that his foot was going to fall off, and on the upstroke that his knee was poking inwards to his frame. So at some stage he's had a slight push on the pedal and it's bent the crank arm here. So in effect, and I'll exaggerate with the pedal, instead of being straight like that, it's bent. So it feels like at the bottom stroke he's falling off, and on the top stroke that his knee's pushing in. And he thought it was the pedal, and I thought that too. The pedal axle was bent, or the cleat on his shoe, or even his shoes. But replacing the pedals, the shoes, the cleats, no, didn't do the trick. It was the crank. So he went online, and as you do, and priced the old Tegra Holotech cranks and found out that they're quite pricey. So he opted for a Shimano 105 and got 105 complete crankset with chain rings, cheaper than just the old Tegra without the chain rings. So there you go. So he's gone to 105. Oh, his left-hand crank is okay. If that's any consolation. And the chain rings aren't too bad either. How many products are there? I mean, who's going to be interested in a light? If you're looking for something like this, ceramic bearings, instead of buying ceramic speed, this is going to cost you a sixth of the price. But is it any good? Now, this may crack the screen of the device you're watching this video on. It's a bicycle seat. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yep, it's a bicycle seat. And I'm reassured that the designer has spent a lot of time in designing this. Relief, perennial relief channel there, so there's no pressure whatsoever. And it's flexible, almost like a pair of wings. So now he claims that the more you ride this, the more comfortable it becomes. So I'm not sure how that works, but we're going to do a video on this most unusual seat design. I mean, really, it's amazing. It looks like a remote control aeroplane. It looks like a very sophisticated something, whatever it is, with wings, something bird related, flight related, but definitely not a bicycle seat. Because we've been conditioned over, well, for me, all of my life actually, to see a bicycle seat as a bicycle as we always see them, but not like that. But if we were to see that all the time, most of our life, then an ordinary bicycle seat would look a bit weird, I suppose. So anyway, so we're going to do a video on that one day. And one last thing, if you come to the Tour Down Under as well, you get lots of freebies. Here's a freebie I got last year from Canyon, and it's a pair of, well, I call them slippers or flip-flops, I suppose. These are soft ones, nice and soft. And they've got Canyon written on them and the little logo there. So there's all sorts of freebies that you'll get at the Tour Down Under as well. So put your nice soft slippers on and watch what us guys have been doing for the last 6 months.
Tour of Galway. We can keep up that pace, that's alright. Bloody hell! That's a Tour of Galway. Hands off. New bike. Scratch the bike.
Oh, you should have seen that time. Have a look at the gouges. Can you see the gouges in that cup?
Oh, in the cup, yeah.
Yeah, that's where the chain was cranking into that.
A few more Sundays.
Freezing cold this morning.
2 more Sundays, and then I can ride Sundays because the women's
Well, not
games
freezing,
are
it's
finished.
cold.
Dry.
And then
And
I'll
dry,
ride
yeah.
Saturday.
No rain, but you can't warm up. My legs just wouldn't go.
3 Sundays from today.
Gary here,
Sundays are back on
he does
for 3 weeks.
he does umpiring for football, and he trains on the Swift on the indoor trainer a lot. So, and when the football's finished, he gets back on the road with us and loses lots of weight, and then we can't keep up with him. So.
No, I'm not
It doesn't look too bad at the moment. He's going to be.
Everyone starts buying him cakes.
Yeah. Eat more cake, eat more cake. Turn all your devices off. Radar, computer, Garmin.
Flashing light on the front.
Flashing light in the front.
Yeah.
All the things you've got to turn off when you get to the cafe. Camera. There's a pothole called hole. One of the riders hit that, bang. His water bottle fell out, went on the road, and the car just ran over his water bottle. He lined it up, did he?
Yeah, I reckon he did.
Any good? No. Because the driver lined it up and ran over it. So that's it. He's one bottle down. There's a fire through here. Both sides, that side paddock and this side. That's why the trees are all black. But they'll grow back. In about 6 months, you wouldn't know there's a fire being through here. Kangaroo. Freezing cold this morning. By the time you get all the gear off, motorbike gloves. It was 1 degree when we started. Some places were 0. Frost everywhere. Anyway, average 31, so that's all right. It's getting warm now. So where do you put your arm warmers? No room in my pockets, so put them on my handlebars. It's a huge cake. Eat all this.
And eat it now.
It's got ice cream. Going on? Chain's always coming off.
Yeah, that's been good for a long while, but
Now you've got nice messy gloves. It's on now though. Yeah.
What'd you change up, John, coming down?
I don't know what I did. It's just funny happening on a downhill like that.
Pouring with rain. Have the others come past yet? They're probably doing what we're doing. So I'm hiding behind a tree. They're hiding behind a sign. We didn't beat the rain. With rain.
This is a good ride too. Yeah, it's good for the farmers.
Still got 5 kilometres to go.
plunk after that.
Hey?
Nice plunk after that.
Oh yeah. Try and push away to get back as fast as you can. And you're wet. It's just like swimming. It's like swimming, guys. Steve's locked himself out. Drowned rat there.
We need a wet bag today.
A wet bag, yeah. One of my arm warmers. Socks. See ya, mate. Can't wait to get home. George brought a towel. That's a good idea.
That's a car seat cover.
A car seat cover. Bit wet.
Should have brought the shoe covers. Toes are just frozen.
It's so cold today. We all got wet and really cold. So this is the cafe, and they've got a fire going, drying all their gear.
Cars are grey now. It's a trendy colour.
What's the grey you got?
Bitumen grey. Invisible grey.
George's underwear.
Underwear.
With wide fronts.
Just taking the shoes off. Yeah, socks drying.
Oh, no, that's Steve.
Scones and cream.
Don't work quite so hard.
One of our riders, his chain came off and twisted. Oh, damaged his frame. Oh yeah, it's not just a scratch, it's gone into the frame, it's quite deep.
It's not going to follow shock.
Oh no.
It's a lightweight.
Get some boss stick.
New bike.
Just get a
New bike.
Yeah, you can have
Yeah.
lightweights.
Get a new lightweight.
Fibre. It's old technology, yeah. Can't even handle the chain coming off. Came off again. I managed to get it back on, but
If I'd known that, we would have done harder.
didn't you hear it?
$20,000.
What is it? 20,000. And how long does it take you to do that? 48.
49 hours.
49 hours.
Because when you're doing repeats of Wollonga,
And how many blood transfusions have you
20,000 metres climbing in 48 hours.
It's on the juice.
He's on the juice.
It's incredible, Michael.
How much do you weigh?
how much do you weigh? 68.
68 kilograms.
That hurts.
Look at those iron legs.
Oh, amazing.
Big heart I've got.
Big heart. Yeah.
Big heart.
So much money on it.
So much money on it.
Always constantly something.
Something, a nightmare to fix, I suppose.
It's a bit hard, like with the proprietary brakes and stuff that just make it really difficult.
Nice E-cap system, right?
Yeah, well, that's the easiest thing to keep fixed. Like,
Yeah.
no cables or anything, so it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Oh, it rained today, and we haven't had rain for ages. And of course the roads all slippery, and we're hooning along, and we come into town. One of our riders hit a white line, and what you know, off you go. So unfortunately, Justin came off there. So,
Not too bad.
Not too bad. He come off really good. His bike's really good. That's the main thing, isn't it? Steve's putting on weight now. Look at that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
He's got some junk in his trunk.
Junk in his trunk.
Just the position you're in, just got to keep wiggling, it'll come out. I remember the battery charger.
So running
I've got it with me now. I'll drop it.
running bike repairs this morning. We've had a puncture already. Then we had a squeaky seat or seat post. Now we've got.
Any problems at
I don't know what we got.
Really? It's really. Wollonga Hill.
You guys are doing about 13 or something.
You nearly got it, you nearly got it. Wriggle him up and down.
So what do you do with a flat battery? You can't charge it on the fly, can you?
Spare, man.
Oh, you got a spare battery. Which is also flat. We just come up a hill. We wondered why this guy was last. He's stuck in the big chain ring because his battery ran flat. This is the way you do it. You match everything. Nice matching top, matching bike.
You're right, love.
Even
Oh, he got that on camera.
matching
Say it again.
ass saver.
I'm right, love.
Everything's figured out. Lovely. So the ski level with the 7,800. First, yeah, 7,800. 7,800.
I don't think the brake's quite the same as the original forks. That's actually quite
There we go.
Ready, set,
Ready?
set, go! New shoes.
Yeah, look,
Making you go faster?
no.
No.
It doesn't make any difference at all, Steve.
They work well, the heads are closures, don't they? I'm amazed how well they go.
What's that?
Oh, these closures.
Yeah,
Very
look,
impressed with it.
honestly, yeah, look, it's just, it seems like a quarter of a turn and that's tight enough.
Yeah, spot on.
Jeez, it's a,
Works beautifully.
yeah, no, they're good.
Good system. Good.
It is a good
Did you
system.
cut that tongue?
Yeah, I
You had to cut the tongue,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was just cutting into my feet, my
Yeah.
I cut the middle one, but apparently some just cut every single, all those slits, cut every single one.
Oh, right.
You can do that, but you shouldn't have to, though, should you?
No.
Shouldn't have to cut any of them.
Well, I suppose it's part of customising to how you want.
Yeah, yeah. But you can't return the shoe.
Oh, you can't.
Once you-
Once you've cut your shoes, you can't return them.
No, it's not.
Seedy shoes. Good shoes, though. They've been around for a long time. Oh, that's just as bad.
It's the inside that usually don't get on. That's pretty good.
How's your hand? Show your hands on the camera. Yeah.
I show you.
Oh, wipe them on the tree. Wipe them on the grass. You need green grass. There's some nettles there.
Bit of rubble.
Oh well.
Bit of Barney rubble.
Vulnerable.
You've got a place down here.
So it's a mirror on your wrist.
So that's
So it doesn't shake as much as on the hand last night, apparently.
floral gun, so where the floral gun is,
Yeah.
so then it's next to that.
It's a nice place.
There you
Very
go.
nice property.
Ah.
And it's a big mirror too, like the one I used to have my other bike, the one that fell off, was quite small. And not only did it vibrate on the handlebars more, but I started looking through a keyhole. You had to really,
Yeah.
took a couple of seconds sometimes to work out what was behind you. Whereas
It's
this
an
one,
Aboriginal name and you've got me now.
And it's convex, yeah.
yeah, so you should get a better view. Only trouble is you look like a bit of a dork.
Especially with the pink.
I thought it was like makeup, you know, you drive along.
So what do you meant to see
What is
behind
the
you?
pink for?
Just a mirror. It's girls.
Oh, for the girls.
I'll get up
But
the
it
times,
doesn't do
George.
anything, the pink.
I don't know what the pink's for.
If it had things like a bit of lip stuff in there, it'd be beautiful.
A powdered thing.
Exactly.
Powder your nose on the way.
Sunscreen.
Sunscreen, yeah, zinc cream.
What's her name? Leanna from Galway. She got a few of them for the girls group. So they now sort of feel obliged to wear it.
It's very big.
But it's good. I like the fact that it's big because, saying to Steve, the one I had was like a keyhole thing on the handlebar, and it's really hard to line up, and then it vibrates like crazy. But this on your hand is not as vibrating.
You're riding just a little behind Carolyn there. I can see myself as clear as a bell.
And you turn your hair.
See yourself in the mirror.
What's more important, eh?
But, you know, I was amazed how still the image and how well it was reflected.
It did the job.
Very good.
So Caroline's going to be stalked by all these self-conscious people now. I've got to take that home.
It's always a buzz when one of our riders has a new bike. So Emma has his new Focus bike. Very nice. Aero frame.
Pretty colour.
Pretty colour, yes.
Yeah. I don't beg for port either.
Nice leather seats. Nice,
Seatbelt, there's a seatbelt on it.
nice dashboard.
Talk about the motor.
Talk about the motor, yeah.
Talk about that. The flat motor, flat battery.
Bars you got here.
DI.
Stem.
Oh, it's DI, not ETAP. DI.
Yeah, never had string. E-tap, it is. Riding next.
And he's got GT Swiss wheels. They all seem to be doing this sort of
A
arrangement. which is
Wahoo,
good.
see my new Wahoo computer.
Wahoo computer.
Wahoo.
Yahoo.
Nice.
Nice firm.
Yeah, for
Mm,
the
they're not
arthritis in the
moving.
hands. Yeah, it needs to be really soft for the arthritis.
140, 160 at the front and a 140 at the back.
I've got no idea.
Looks like
What
it.
language is that?
They're going the disc size. They're going that way now. Don't know why.
How do you tell?
Well, it's written on there for a start.
I can't read. I think they're 140s and 160s if I remember reading.
Morning, mate.
So there we go.
Don't forget the bottle, the water bottle.
The water bottle. Oh, the old water bottle. I think you'd have a new Focus
Yeah,
water
new
bottle.
They wouldn't even throw a water bottle. So too much of a margin on for the retailers.
These 25s.
Yeah, but they go out to about 27.5. I measured it. They blow out. The rim allows them to blow out to 27.5. I
Yeah.
noticed, and it's
You get 28s on there.
The width that comes
the
here.
width of the tyre. I've measured here 27.5. It actually stipulates.
Is that the
that.
tyres it came with?
No, the tyre's actually 25.
Yeah.
The rim allows it to go to 27 because it's
But the bike came with those tyres on it?
yeah.
Nice. Well, you'd be able to ride 28s then. Nice and comfy.
There's plenty of room if it's
There
relaxed
is.
and even
Yep.
wider.
And you were saying before you don't carry a toolkit. Well, most of us wouldn't have tubes that'd be okay for you.
No tubes either. Yeah.
So it's heavy there on the bike.
Definitely heavy.
So we expect to be passing you on the hills.
That'll be the day.
Just look behind you and see where I am. And
not gonna happen.
Everyone copy if I pass them on.
I've got about 4 kilograms of extras on my bike. Lights and bloody arse savers and everything.
Big chain ring to the second cog down
Right.
because it twists the chain. So if you do, it'll just automatically go to the small chain ring and the equivalent cog on the back.
Change that as well.
It'll change that as well to the equivalent, and vice versa as well. If you go from small on the small chain ring and you try to go on the big on the small cogs at the back,
It'll change.
before the chain twists too much, it'll take you onto the big ring and bring that back a little bit to the equivalent. Yeah, but that takes a bit of getting used to.
Yeah, 'cause
I
it
don't know
just
if I
changes
like
on
it,
you,
so I
yeah.
might go back to manual. At least you got full control.
Yeah.
What does that say? Made in, I can't read it.
Made in Taiwan.
There you go.
Taiwan.
It cannot be country.
Made in
Definitely not made in Germany.
So there you go. German one.
German
German Aero Superbike made in Taiwan.
I chose it for the colour, nothing else. Just love the colour.
Oh, big numbers on the computer.
That's about it. So what Wahoo?
Big size writing, right?
Yeah, it's got to seem like that.
Another new bike. It looks quite good actually.
It's all right.
Nice. A cube. Oh, all black.
C-Link bus.
Is it what?
The C-Link bus.
Oh, you're kidding already.
Yeah, it's this
Oh.
morning. Knocking off.
Oh, still. You could probably get that out actually. Ultegra.
Q.
Very nice. Oh, nice seat arrangement.
That might cut over to.
Yeah, so it's quite good.
Good morning.
So is this the first time you've ridden it? First day today? No.
Yeah, well, I picked it up yesterday morning and I took it for a spin just last night just to get it done. And today's the first outing.
Oh.
And yeah, knocked off the road by a bus.
Oh. There's a bike rack here.
How come this one here on? Because he's in the size.
That's right.
We're determined to get every single bike in the rack. How many can you fit in? Oh, he's going to put it on top.
Trust me, Jim.